strengthening the continental African women's movement towards a new value-based ecosystem. That's the theme at the third Africa Women in Dialogue session, which is being held at the Birchwood Hotel, that's in Boksburg. The event brings together women from the continent and beyond to tackle issues facing this particular population. SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo is watching that story for us and joins us now live. And Khayelihle, it's hard to imagine a situation where that gathering would be able to ignore the developments in the DRC, especially where you consider the toll that conflict is having, specifically on women and children.
Well, certainly quite a very unprecedented occasion here, and really quite a plethora of issues will be looked at by the delegates. So, but it's also about fostering the dialogue, looking at a myriad of challenges facing women in terms of, for example, the issues around financial exclusion, but also issues pertaining to the wars, the conflicts. Like you just said, I mean, the very terrible, very untenable situation in the eastern part of DRC, where the women, children, and the most vulnerable really are bearing the brunt of the conflict. But really to look extensively in terms of what can we expect here. We're joined by Madam CEO, of course, a very important moment. I mean, I was looking at the diversity of the women from all the corners of the continent, from the southern parts to East Africa, to North Africa, West Africa, central part of Africa. Ms. Pierre, tell us about the significance of this occasion.
Thank you very much, first and foremost, for SABC to be part of this journey of building a very strong movement of women in the African continent. Today, we are gathered here in the southern tip of the continent, hosting the entire 55 countries of the African continent. In this gathering, we are having 1,000 women who come from the 55 countries. We identified 16 women from each of those countries. The African Women in Dialogue is a very inclusive platform of dialogue. It takes women from all walks of life, from the homemaker to the president of a country, to the first lady of a country, to the CEO of a country, and it is a completely non-hierarchical movement. We gathered here to have conversations and dialogue about issues that are meant to push back gender inequality. We are about pushing forward conversations on many areas to ensure that there is gender inclusivity and that women can come around the table and equally make contributions. The power that is in this room, the volumes of voices that is in this room are just amazing. And we are looking forward for a week-long field with conversations, lectures, dialogue, engagements by many from all these regions of our continent.
And obviously, Ms. Pierre, quite a lot of challenges facing women in the African continent. One can't help but think about those women who are suffering in Sudan. I mean, you look at the very volatile situation in the eastern parts of Congo, and the women really are always at the coal face where they face all these challenges, from the sexual assaults to other challenges as well.
Absolutely. You know, yesterday when I received the message from the team that the team from DRC has just landed, knowing what we've been listening to on the news and all those things, it was really humbling. It is important for us to dialogue about those issues. Some of the issues that will be looked into workshops and breakaway is to say, what is the prospect of peace for our continent? What must be done for those children and women who are being affected by this conflict? We're also taking this time as a forum to reflect on the Beijing Plus 30. You would know that in 1995 there was a huge global conference of women around this, and many declarations were entered into. We're going to sit back as a forum to review and reflect, because in March 2025 the UN would be hosting a session where we would reflect and check what progress has been made. Our journey is cut out for us. There are some gains, but there is still so much to be done. And we believe that writing off the voices of women is actually taking away from the capacity of the continent and the world to operate at an optimum level.
All right. Ms. Pierre, thank you so much indeed for your time. So we'll certainly touch base during the course of this particular gathering. So I had a very important moment for the women. So, but very inclusive approach. The grassroots level women are here from all sorts of walks of life. So the very inclusive approach is a very main tenet here in terms of making sure that issues confronting women are being tackled. So with that, back to you in studio.
Khayelihle Khumalo is live to us there from Birchwood in Boksburg for now. Thanks very much indeed.